Hello and welcome to Financial Intelligence. In this video, I want to talk about the US government's unfunded liabilities. A liability is a legal duty of a person, organization, or government entity to pay a debt that comes from a past or current contract or action. Unfunded liabilities are debt obligations that do not have enough funds set aside to pay them. Therefore, these unfunded liabilities are essentially financial promises that the US government has made to deliver, but in reality, it has no funds to fulfill those promises. The US government is hoping to be able to meet these obligations using the future federal tax revenue incomes. This plan could be practical in the absence of the creation of new additional liabilities. However, the US government raises more and more liabilities every year, and therefore the total sum of the US government's unfunded liabilities keeps growing. Economists have shown that based on the current trajectory of tax revenues and the sheer amount of unfunded liabilities, the US government is extremely unlikely to be able to meet all its financial obligations in the future. There are also many factors that are going to widen the gap between the government's tax revenues and its unfunded liabilities in the future. The divergence between the rate of growth of unfunded US liabilities and the US tax revenue will have a major adverse impact on the economic health of the US. If you like the type of content that I provide on this channel, subscribe to the channel and make sure to like this video and also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. In the remaining portion of this video, I will share with you the four main sources of the US government's unfunded liabilities. These numbers are just huge and hard to fathom. I just have no idea how the US government can deliver on all these promises without dropping some of these obligations. Unfunded liability number one, Medicare benefits. Medicare is a US federal government health insurance program that subsidizes healthcare services. The plan covers people aged 65 or older, younger people who meet specific eligibility criteria, and individuals with certain diseases. Medicare is a different program than Medicaid, which offers health and other services to eligible low-income people of all ages. Unfunded Medicare benefits are about $55 trillion. Unfunded liability number two, Social Security benefits. Social Security is a federal program that has been set up to provide some level of support to retirees and disabled workers. It is essentially an insurance program, meaning that workers pay into the program typically through payroll tax withholdings. These funds are then used to help older Americans, workers who become disabled, and families in which a spouse or parent dies. Unfunded Social Security benefits are about $41 trillion. Unfunded liability number three, publicly held debt. The public debt is the amount of money the US government owes to lenders such as individuals, businesses, and other governments. The term public debt is often used interchangeably with other terms such as sovereign debt or national debt. Regardless of what it is called, public debt is the accumulation of annual budget deficits. It is the result of years of government leaders spending more than they take in via tax revenues. Unfunded US government public debt is about $28 trillion as of now. Unfunded liability number 4, military and civilian retirement benefits. One of the benefits of federal civil service is the ability to receive retirement benefits. The term military and civilian retirement liabilities refer to the amount of money that the federal government has to account for in order to make these pension payments in the future. In other words, a pension liability is the difference between the total amount due to retirees and the actual amount of money the federal government has on hand to make those payments. As of now, unfunded military and civilian retirement benefits stand at roughly $10 trillion. In summary, politicians have made irresponsible and unrealistic financial commitments that have left the federal government with a debt burden of roughly around $120 trillion. That equates to a $700,000 burden for every federal taxpayer. I hope that you like this video. If you have any recommendation or suggestion, please add them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you and take care.